The year is 1299. In the shadow of the crumbling Byzantine Empire and the mighty Seljuk Sultanate, a small, unassuming tribe of Turkish warriors roams the dusty plains of Anatolia. Their leader, a man named Osman, is a figure shrouded in legend. One story tells of a dream he had, a vision of a great tree sprouting from his navel, its branches stretching across 3 continents, its roots drinking from 4 great rivers. This dream, they say, was a prophecy. It foretold the birth of an empire that would redraw the map of the world, an empire that would last for over 600 years, an empire that would bear his name, the Ottoman Empire. This isn't just a story of conquest. It's the story of how a small band of nomadic horsemen built one of the most powerful and enduring dynasties in human history. So how did they do it? How did Osman's tiny beylik, or principality, grow to dominate the Middle East, North Africa, and southeastern Europe? The secret lies in a unique blend of ambition, faith, and pragmatism. The early Ottomans were Ghazi warriors, fighters for the Islamic faith. Their initial expansion was fueled by a religious zeal to expand the Dar al-Islam, the House of Islam. But they were also incredibly practical. Instead of simply raiding and pillaging, they established administrative control over the lands they conquered. They absorbed the populations, often allowing Christians and Jews to practice their faith in exchange for a tax, a policy that ensured stability and prevented constant rebellion. Osman's son, Orhan, continued this strategy with brilliant success. He captured the strategic city of Bursa in 1326 and made it his capital, transforming it into a center of learning and commerce. He wasn't just a warrior, he was a state builder. It was under Orhan that the Ottomans first crossed into Europe, initially as mercenaries for a Byzantine emperor embroiled in a civil war. They saw the weakness, the division, and the opportunity. By 1354, they had established their first permanent foothold on the European continent at Gallipoli. The gateway to the Balkans was now wide open. This European expansion introduced a revolutionary innovation, the Janissaries. These were elite infantry units, the first modern standing army in Europe. Formed through the Devshirme system, young Christian boys from the Balkans were recruited, converted to Islam, and trained to be fiercely loyal soldiers and administrators, sworn to serve the Sultan alone. They were a formidable force, disciplined, skilled, and equipped with the latest military technology, including early firearms. The Janissaries became the sharp edge of the Ottoman sword, carving a path through the Balkans. The next pivotal figure was Sultan Mehmed I. He conquered Adrianople, renaming it Edirne, and making it his new European capital. His reign culminated in the legendary Battle of Kosovo in 1389. While the battle itself was a bloody stalemate and Murad was killed, it shattered the Serbian-led Balkan coalition, leaving the region vulnerable to complete Ottoman domination. The dream of the great tree was spreading its branches, but the empire's rise wasn't a straight line. In 1402, a challenger emerged from the east, the fearsome Timur, or Tamerlane. At the Battle of Ankara, Timur's forces crushed the Ottoman army and captured Sultan Bayezid I, who famously died in captivity. The Ottoman Empire was plunged into a decade of civil war, a period known as the Ottoman Interregnum, as Bayezid's sons fought each other for the throne. It seemed as though the dream was over, that the empire would collapse before it truly began. Yet, the foundations laid by Osman and his successors were strong. The administrative systems, the loyalty of the Janissaries, and the sheer resilience of the Ottoman state held firm. By 1413, Mehmed I emerged victorious, reuniting the empire and earning the title of its second founder. He and his son, Murad II, spent the next few decades reconsolidating power, putting down rebellions and fending off European crusades aimed at driving them out of the Balkans. And then came the man who would fulfill the ultimate ambition. In 1451, a 21-year-old sultan ascended the throne. His name was Mehmed II, and his eyes were fixed on one prize, Constantinople. The city was a shadow of its former glory, the last vestige of the once mighty Roman Empire, but its symbolic power was immense. It was the key to bridging the Ottoman lands in Asia and Europe, the red apple of Turkish mythology. Mehmed was a genius of military strategy and engineering. He commissioned a Hungarian engineer named Orban to build massive cannons, behemoths capable of hurling stone balls weighing over half a ton. The largest of these, the beylik, was so powerful it could shatter the legendary triple-layered Theodosian walls that had protected Constantinople for 1,000 years. On April 6, 1453, the siege began. For 53 days the city held out, its defenders fighting with desperate courage. But the relentless bombardment, the sheer numbers of the Ottoman army, and Mehmed's brilliant tactics, including famously dragging his ships overland into the Golden Horn to bypass the defensive chain, were too much. On May 29, 1453, the Janissaries breached the walls. The last Roman emperor, Constantine the Palaeologos, died fighting in the streets. Mehmed the Conqueror rode into the city, not as a destroyer but as a new emperor. He went to the Hagia Sophia, the grandest cathedral in Christendom, and ordered it converted into a mosque, a symbol of his victory and the new Islamic heart of his empire. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across the world. It marked the end of the Middle Ages and the definitive rise of the Ottoman Empire as a global superpower. Mehmed didn't stop there. He solidified control over the Balkans, conquered Serbia and Bosnia, and pushed into Greece. He saw himself as a new Roman Caesar, a unifier of East and West under his rule. He established Istanbul, as the city was now called, as a vibrant, multicultural capital, welcoming people of all faiths and backgrounds. He codified laws and patronized the arts and sciences, creating a true Renaissance court. His successors would continue this golden age of expansion. Selim the Grim would turn the empire's focus eastward, conquering the Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt in 1517. This victory was monumental. It gave the Ottomans control over the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, making the Sultan the Caliph, the leader of the entire Sunni Muslim world. It also gave them control over the lucrative spice trade routes from the Indian Ocean. The peak of Ottoman power came under Selim's son, Suleiman the Magnificent. His reign from 1520 to 1566 is considered the apex of Ottoman military, political, and cultural achievement. He conquered Belgrade and Rhodes, crushed the Hungarian kingdom at the Battle of Mohacs, and laid siege to the gates of Vienna itself in 1529. His navy, under the command of the legendary Admiral Barbarossa, dominated the Mediterranean. His legal code, the Kanun, reshaped Ottoman law for centuries. Istanbul became the largest and wealthiest city in the world, a dazzling center of art, architecture, and learning. The dream of Osman, the vision of a tree whose branches covered the known world, had become a stunning reality. From a small tribe of nomadic warriors to the masters of 3 continents, the rise of the Ottoman Empire is a testament to vision, adaptation, and relentless ambition. It's a story that shaped the course of modern history, leaving a legacy that we can still see today in the culture, politics, and borders of the world. Thanks for watching. We dive into fascinating stories like this every week, so if you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you with us for the next one. See you then.